That's class right there. Yeah. He made me a better candidate. He made me work hard. I will tell you that. No one works harder than the two of us on that campaign. I'm telling you, we were everywhere, and it was always a pleasure to be in a room with him and to be proud to have Democrats like him rising in our party. And so I totally support whatever it is you do next, sir. So just let me say right now that I'm going to have to scoot out of here right after I speak, and I apologize. I did make it to most all of the tables, and if I missed you, I'm really sorry. But I have 3.5 hours to home, and then I've got to be at church in St. Louis at 9:30 in the morning tomorrow. So, but it's a big church, and it's a church that will vote for us. It's a voting church, and so it's a church that I need to be at and be on my best behavior, except maybe not. So forgive me. And I'm sorry I'm not going to hear Jason, but you know what? I know a lot of his speech already. And it's wonderful. You'll be wowed by it. So yesterday I was in a room with a club I want to become a part of. Bob Holden was there, and Clint Zweifel was there. So it was a former state treasurer and a current state treasurer, and I want to be your next state treasurer. So just really quickly, these are crazy times. This is a crazy election. So I'm going to tell you a joke. They wouldn't let me tell this at the not-for-profit yesterday, but I'm going to tell it to you. What do Trump and a pumpkin have in common? Good. Everyone gets the orange. They're orange, they're hollow, and they're thrown out early November. While they have that at the leadership at the top of their party, we channel the spirit of an Eleanor Roosevelt instead. Think of the difference between those two ideas. I picked this one too, Krista. It takes as much energy to wish as it does to plan. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what our plan is. And we certainly don't, in our plan, we certainly don't need a wishbone where our backbone ought to be for the next 18 days. We're going to come up against a lot of, like today in the parade, when I was in the parade and homecoming, a lot of Trump folks that weren't very pleasant to the Democratic float going by. We have a lot ahead of us that we're going to need a good backbone for. So what is the plan? The plan is to continue traveling the state and to listen to our constituency and listen to voters. And that's what I've been doing for the last, really decade of my life. I have met with people who are in homeless shelters. I have met with people in safety net clinics. I've met with farm folks. I've met with fisher people. I've met with mothers worried about violence. I've met with researchers in universities and who do incubation for innovation. I've met in all kinds of communities of color, churches, synagogues, mosques, women making ends meet for their family, men hoping to find work, and children hopeful for their futures. These are the people who keep me going every day. These are the people that I think about why we do what we do. 1 in 4 children, as you know, in the state of Missouri are what they call food insecure. And less than half of Missourians even have a small $400 nest egg to fall back on in case they lose a job or if they have a healthcare event. These are the people I'm working for and want to continue to work for as state treasurer. We're building a platform of economic empowerment. We called it Build Assets, Build Lives. We're going to do children's savings accounts. We're going to make sure that women have equal pay for equal work. I talk every day about working families. I talk about empowerment. I talk about how to help Missourians make ends meet. My opponent, there's only 3 things you need to know about him, and you need to tell all your neighbors because it will resonate. Number 1, he voted to repeal the law that restricts foreign entities from owning farmland in the state of Missouri. He got campaign cash before the vote, and he got campaign cash after the vote. And now a Chinese conglomerate owns 42,000 Missouri acres. We can't let that stand. My opponent not only endorsed Trump, has refused to unendorse Trump, but he has not even, in 3 weeks now, issued a letter or statement in support of women at all. And number 3, my opponent has been going around the state. He is on record in print and in a video saying, I want to use the state treasurer's office to advocate for right to work. He's going around the state saying he wants to use the state treasurer's office to do that. We can't let him do that. So, we need to elect Judy Baker as state treasurer in order to make sure none of those things happen. So, I know we're tired. I know we have 18 days, and we're physically tired. It's been a long campaign season. We're physically tired. We are psychologically tired. We are emotionally tired. But we only have 18 more days, you guys. We've got to be our best selves. We have something to do and something to be, and it has to be better something to do and something better than we've ever been before in the next 18 days. So this is just a rally cry to get out there, do what you can. I'm going to ask you personally, this is a very grassrootsy campaign, Judy Baker for treasurer, and you won't see me on TV in Joplin. We just don't have enough funds for that. So I want you to be our network. We are going to post on my Facebook, Judy Baker 4 Mo. We're going to post the videos and the ads right there, and you can share them for free. That way you don't have to send me a check. Do the work of getting the people to figure out what Judy Baker is all about. We have an ad running right now in digital space that is outperforming everything else. If we just get out there and get shared, we can get this done on less money. And the story's going to be at the end that I was the fiscal conservative in this race because I won with a whole lot less money. So, live the next 18 days boldly. Do more than you thought you could do. And be the change that you want to see in the world. And lastly, to channel Eleanor Roosevelt, it is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. 18 days, light a candle every day. Thank you all.